I'm Chaloner, reporting for Caravan.org. I've got a very, very, very special guest here. It's our old friend ReDeYe, legendary shoutcaster extraordinaire, who came out of retirement, in inverted commas, to come and shoutcast this event. A lot of people asked for an interview with him, so here he is. Paul, where were you? Clear it all up, because people seem to think you'd quit esports.
What's all this retirement rubbish? I don't know what it's all about. No, you know, retirement's one of those weird things in esports. You hear it sort of bandied around a lot. Players do it all the time, and then they make comebacks, and there's all sorts of rubbish. I've never retired. Not once have I retired from this game. I don't think I'll ever will. I mean, why would you retire as a commentator? Murray Walker's like 86 or something, and he still hasn't really retired. He's just stopped doing TV. So no, I never retired, but real life's catched up. You know, it's caught up with me a bit. I've had my daughter living with me for about 18 months until the end of last year. And obviously that changed things around very much. She's 12, so I was 12 at the time, and that sort of changed things for me in terms of being able to get to land, and get to events, and do TV stuff. So just changed priorities really, but never really been anywhere. I still keep in touch on Cadrid, still, you know, troll the forums occasionally and get banned maybe.
That hasn't happened.
Not yet. There's time. No, just generally enjoying the stuff and sort of taking a bit of a backseat and looking at all the stuff that's going on, tuning into the tons of streams that are all over the place now. It's now a different market than what it was a year ago, let alone 5 years ago when we started. So, no, just sort of keeping my hand in with the odd event. Been a bit busier recently in the last few months. Did WCG in Korea in December, Ukraine in January with IEM, and then did a couple of events, one with you guys, obviously AMD Experience in February, and then back for the IEM World Masters last month, and then here again for Copenhagen. So it's been quite a busy few months actually, which has been nice. It's been nice to get back into it. So no, I haven't been anywhere, but I've just I've been busy with real life TM.
Right, well, I'll ask you a bit about that, because it's been a recurring theme in all of the interviews. Everyone's getting older, but I remember recently, I know there was another editor, another website that we don't talk about, was talking about retiring, and you gave him a pep talk and put your arm around. I mean, and people forget, I think. It seems to be very contradictory, I guess, in esports. It's like, if you're a bit older, people say, you're too old, get a real life and stuff like that. And then other people also say, oh, well, it's real cool that they're still in and bringing their experience and all of that. Where do you stand on it? Because I think you're one of those guys, I genuinely believe you when you say you'll never retire. So, I mean, how old is too old?
I don't know. I asked this question to Fatality about 5 years ago, I think now, and he hadn't won a tournament in maybe 2 years, and he wasn't really playing that much. He was doing some Quake 4 here and there, but he didn't really win anything. And I don't even think he was sure what time you retire as a player, but I think generally it is a young man's game. There's no doubt about that. The 14, 15-year-olds that are coming through, even Counter-Strike Source, are pretty special. Some of the 16-year-olds we've got here this weekend are very special in terms of their skills. So we've got some great players coming through. The older generation, you've interviewed a few of them this weekend as well. Yuhar's one of them. Angel Dust is a mate of mine. I go back with 7 or 8 years now. And I said to him, it's ridiculous. We're still doing this stuff. What are we doing? But, all the time you enjoy this, why not? Why not carry on with it? And I think it's different for us. It's different for commentators and editors and
reporters
and stuff, because there is no age limit. It doesn't matter.
Well, I still get called an old mess every time I write an article.
I'm definitely an old mess then. But, no, I don't think there's an age limit on this stuff. For the players, I don't know. I think there probably is a period in time. I mean, I won a Euro Cup, slight brag here, but I won a Euro Cup at 32, so you can do it. I mean, maybe it wasn't as competitive back then, but you can do it if you're an old boy. It just takes a bit more concentration, a bit more practice, that's all.
That's a better boast than Odie. Keeps bragging about how he's...
world champion.
No, but not just that, Space Invaders world champion as well. It never shuts up about it, so if you're watching, Mike, we haven't forgot. But here's another thing I want to ask you as well, just in terms of how much, when you took that break, how much of it was because you were actually just fucking jaded with esports? I got to ask, because I felt it myself. Sometimes it's really hard.
It is hard, you're right. And I think I've probably gone through probably 2 of those kind of moments where, you just kind of go, blimey, how much more can you do? Because it isn't just about, for me, it's never been just about shoutcasting. It's always been about a bit more. It's always about trying to raise the awareness of the scene, trying to build up esports. I know that sounds kind of contrived, but it's a genuine passion of mine. It's something I want to see succeed. It's something I want to see get bigger. And I think previously, specifically around the CGS stuff, I sort of thought, oh my God, maybe we're on the verge of making it here. And then that kind of went down, and I did feel a bit jaded, I have to say. At the end of 2008, I felt a bit, not just jaded, but a bit sort of whiplash by it all. It sort of caught me up, and I lost 4 of the 5 TV contracts that I was doing at the time. it all went down the pan at the same time. The recession was kicking in. I had to go back and get what I call a semi-real job and do something slightly different. Heaven came along, gladly kept me in esports for a couple of years, but since then I've been out of that for 2 years. I've now got a day job. I'm head of social media for Fresh Egg, which is a truly brilliant place to work, but it's not esports, you know, it's social media, and that's my other passion, so it's great. But at the same time, I think I just had to be realistic about what esports could do for me in terms of, you know, I say that, but it's sort of weird. It's hard to explain. It's like I never really cared about earning the money. All I cared about was protecting my family and paying the bills.
Yeah.
And as long as it did that, I didn't care how much money I earned. I just wanted to find a job that would allow me to stay in it, and that's pretty much all I did with Heaven. And they were good enough to put up with me for a couple of years, and that was fine. But yeah, I think probably those two moments of jadedness probably came at the end of the CGS, and then again when I left Heaven, it was kind of like
deja vu.
Almost, what do I have to do to stay in this game, and is it worth staying in this game, and sort of really questioning whether this had a future and whether it was going anywhere. So I think everyone does that from time to time that's involved at, you know, the top end of esports. You always question yourself, and I think it's healthy to do that. So you know, I'm not too worried about the fact. I'm sure I'll have another one. I'm sure you'll have another one. I'm sure plenty of the people working in it, like Nixon, will have those kind of moments where they think, do you know what? Is this all the hassle, all the grief, all the, you know, all the flaming and all the stuff that goes? Is it really worth this to just come along and do something you enjoy and love? And at the end of it, you pretty much always come back to the same answer, which is yes.
So now that you're this guy who's like kind of been outside and come back to it and had a look in and, you know, maybe got different ideas and different thoughts, what do you think right now? I know Counter-Strike's your big passionate game, but also esports in general. What do you think it really needs? What direction do you think it needs to take? Because we've seen WCG as well, kind of, you know, I mean, mobile only. Good call, guys. So come on, well, what's the Chaloner solution?
I don't think I have a solution. I never claimed that I did. I think with the CGS, I thought they were onto something, and I followed that wholeheartedly, gave it absolutely everything, 110%.
I remember, yeah.
That didn't work out. I'm not bitter about it, but I do miss some of the times that we had on that. I think for the people involved in it, certainly, they'll miss it more than the people outside. I think it brought something to the table. I'm not sure it's going to leave any lasting legacy. And actually, I'm gonna be slightly different about it. I don't think esports needs anything at the moment. I think it's in a good place. I think we're starting to see more tournaments spring up. Copenhagen Games doing a great job this weekend, and you know, all right, WCG is going to go and do mobile. Good luck to it. If it can make money that way and it's a business, then that's what it's going to be. Look at ESL and what MLG are doing. It's fantastic right now. So I'm starting to come back around to the whole. I don't give a stuff about mainstream anymore. Why bother? We've tried going mainstream, it didn't work. Where we're at right now is here. It's this kind of stuff. This is the stuff that the gamers enjoy. Look at the amount of figures ESL are putting up on their TV streams right now. 250,000 people tuning in. And that's not by mistake, that's by design. And that's true video gaming fanatics who are tuning into that. And if the mainstream come along, great. If they don't, I don't give a stuff anymore. And if TV doesn't want to take us on, well, who cares? We're not on TV anyway. The gamers don't use TV. We all watch bloody films and TV on our computers. We don't loads of stuff. We watch it on Netflix. We don't care about TV. So why the hell do we want to get this stuff on TV and pamper to all those kind of whims, if you like, about fitting into a stereotype to make it goodly packaged for, you know, for television? Why do we have to pamper that? They'll come to us when we're big enough. Yeah. And if we carry on the way we're doing, then I think we'll be fine.
What about in terms of right? I think it's hard to say this, but I'm just going to say it.
No,
I think you've taken a step down to be here with Gamecast. All due respect to them. I'll tell you why, because I think everyone remembers Quad V as like the fucking benchmark, you know? Like, I mean, the team you had there was awesome. Yep. Even now, even though they don't really do anything, the name is still synonymous with commentary within games. And Gamecast is obviously a lot smaller. And I think, to be honest, like all the guys on that team are like really psyched to be working with someone like yourself. But it must be, is it not odd for you? Like, are you not used to something different, like something better, bigger?
No. I mean, I did IEM World Championship last month. You know, phenomenal event, standing in front of 10,000 people on a stage and presenting it out to the world and 250,000 people on it. And that's fantastic, that's terrific. And I really got a kick out of it, I will admit that. But I get just as much of a kick coming here and doing some Counter-Strike. So I haven't done Source for so long, and it's kind of my game, you know. It's like I feel a bit passionate about it, and the same with 1-6. So no, I don't think it's a step down at all. I think they're a new set of guys. They're taking it up on the new way of doing things with Twitch, and that's great. I'm not going to knock people for wanting to give it a go. And I've said so many times, we give shoutcasters such a hard time as fans.
I know.
We're so fickle about it. When we've got no coverage, we moan like mother hens, and then we get 4 or 5 new guys who want to give it a try, and we batter the crap out of them, frankly, and then they don't come back, and we wonder why. So no, fair game to them. They're a new set of guys, and they're learning, and I enjoy it just as much as they're enjoying it. So no, it's all good.
Well, here's another couple of questions, and then we'll wrap it up. The first one just being about, how much does it sort of mean that you got this wicked response from the Source people? What was the first thing that they fucking posted? It's going to be such a big tournament, we want ReDeYe there, we don't care, we'll pay. Like, people were offering a PayPal account and everything. I know we try and pretend that shit doesn't mean anything in esports. We always pretend we're too above it, but yeah. How much did it mean to you?
It meant an awful lot, and I'll tell you why. Because I did Source back in the day in 2004 and 2005 in the early stuff. In fact, I stumbled across some demos the other night of audio demos of ND versus Astralis. That's how old school I am. And you know what? I love the game. I love the players involved. I still know a lot of them. I still hang out with them. Still mix with them some nights. We still have some crazy games together. And it meant an awful lot to see that sort of stuff on there. Coolidge was actually the guy that put up a little thread after. He said, this Copenhagen game's got everything. It's got fantastic report. It's got great coverage on carry. It's going to have fantastic teams, best in the world. It's going to have a brilliant prize pot. It's going to be all streamed around the world. The only thing's missing is ReDeYe. And I just thought, that's really nice. And then, of course, the response was fantastic. People really wanted me to come and do it. So as soon as I had the chance to do it, and Niels was really good enough to sort of, because he could have just said, screw it, this is our bag, we're going to do it, and it's our thing, and he didn't. And he, credit to him, he gave me a call and he said, we'd really like you to come out. What can we do to do it? And let's do it. So here I am, and it's mainly thanks to the guys on Cadrid that did that. So I'm really humbled by that. I've seen some of the feedback today as well, and a couple of people sort of saying, how much would it cost us to keep ReDeYe coming back?
I know, There's some guy offering to pay you £2 a month, pay-per-view.
You don't need to do that, but that's nice. It makes me feel very proud that I've had a part to play in Counter-Strike Source's history, and I am truly humbled by it. It's really, really, really nice.
On the flip side of that, and I'm going to end on a few little twists here for you. You wouldn't expect anything else.
No.
The 1.6 guys at IEM, I couldn't believe that they actually criticised you, and I know you know that. Is that just because you're the Source guy, in your opinion? Because I thought you did a pretty fucking bang-up job, man.
No, I don't think it's about Source or 1.6. I try and straddle the line as much as I can. I enjoy both games. I'm not ashamed to say that. I play Source more, but I like both games, and I think they've both got great qualities, and I think that's why, CSGO will survive, because it'll be another great game that's got another set of different qualities, and some of the players will come and some won't, and that's cool too. Did I deserve the stick? I don't know, maybe, yeah. I think maybe some of it was valid, but the trouble was, for me, it crossed the line, and when it gets to personal stuff, that's when it irritates me, and I don't like that. If you've got an opinion and it's that you don't like my casting, I'm okay with that. There's plenty of casters I don't like too, but there's plenty I do like, and we've all got our own kind of quirky things that we like in a caster and stuff that we don't like, or annoyances that they might do or not pick up, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. As soon as it gets into the whole, slagging my family off or telling me I've done this for money or any of those other kind of crap, that really does piss me off. And you know what? I don't normally rise to it. I don't normally go on a forum and start flaming the crap out of people, and I kind of did that on HLT.
Don't blame me.
And I probably shouldn't have done, but I just felt like people needed to see a bit of real, reality. And yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm just a normal guy. I'm a human being. I have feelings, and sometimes they hurt. And you shouldn't let words hurt. But I often tell the young guys, don't let the stick you get on the forums affect you. And there I am setting a poor example of replying back. So no, I think some of it was deserved. I think I missed plenty of action actually when I was camera using, and I just wasn't used to it. As simple as that. And it's not an excuse, it's just a valid thing that I hadn't done it for a while and I was a bit rusty and did miss a few shots, so I'll own up to that. But the personal abuse, there's no need for that.
Surely proof that you're not money obsessed is the fact you haven't switched to StarCraft 2 like some of our other esteemed casters.
Money, isn't it? No, you're right. And I've never been an RTS guy. I played like Total Annihilation back in the day in about 1997 or something. And I played a bit of Red Alert, and that's it. That's as far as my RTS experience goes. If I really wanted to sit down and earn money from this business, you're right, I would go to Korea. I've had offers to go and do other stuff. I'd be sitting there on a stream 24/7 on Twitch, putting in a couple of grand a month, wouldn't I? So, no, it doesn't interest me. You can never say never, and I would never say never to going to do something like StarCraft 2, but I just don't like the game. nothing against Blizzard, but I just don't enjoy that kind of game. I like fast-paced shooters. I like things like Quake and Unreal Tournament and Painkiller, even Guilty Sin, and I love Counter-Strike. So as soon as a new game comes along like Go, I'm all up for it. Even a bit of Battlefield, I'll do a bit of that if I need to. Some of the other games that I've casted at WCG have been crazy. I mean, really crazy. I mean, like bloody Paul and stuff, and I'm okay with that. But I will not cast RTS. So I mean, talk about the money all you like. If I really wanted to make a living out of this, I probably could, but I wouldn't be doing something I loved. So I'm not going to do it.
So last question, all your fans out in Cadred Land and everywhere else, where can they get their next daily dose of ReDeYe? Because I know you got a fucking busy schedule, dude.
Yeah, I've got a few things on actually. I can't say too much because I've got kind of a couple of things I'm working on for the summer. I think it's confirmed, so that should be pretty good. I've got Gadget Show next week, of course, with your good self as well. Yeah, we don't get a break from this stuff, do we, when they want to run like
People
this?
think it's an easy job.
Hey, I don't know, is the honest answer. I think, I've often said in the last 6 months or so, I think about setting up a studio in my house and starting to stream a bit more, maybe doing some online stuff for Source and for 1.6 and maybe a few other games. But I don't know, we'll see. But right now, this is it for Counter-Strike Source as far as I'm concerned, but I'm not going to say it's the end, it's not the last one I'll do. I'm just really privileged to be. It's such a phenomenal tournament, so many great teams, brilliant games, couldn't ask for more.
Well, look, I'll say on behalf of the Cadre guys, look, everyone's fucking stoked that you're out here. You are a part of Source history. There's no disputing that, and I think everyone's glad you made a comeback. And that goes for me, that goes for everyone here. So feel rightly proud. To all the people out there, there it is. It's the legend. It's ReDeYe. He's back. He's loving it. He's never saying never about StarCraft, but he's certainly never saying never about Counter-Strike as well. He's with us to stay, I think. But all the people out there, we're going to bring you more interviews from here at Copenhagen Games 2012. It's been an awesome tournament. Do stay with us.